Well, well, back home, the violin behind, the guitar next to me. Yeah, that's it's a blessing, but it's also a blessing when I leave home to bless others. This is so important. But coming home, first day back, what's going on? A couple of things. And this is pretty normal for probably more than 20 years, almost every single time. One is relationships. Yeah, and I'm not quite or not just talking about my sweet dog that was waiting for me and wouldn't leave me now. It's every place I go, it's right there next to me because I left him for a month, so now wants to make sure. Yeah, some of these dogs have this separation anxiety, but no, that's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about the spouse, about the wife. Very, very powerful and important what I'm telling you. If you have a spouse, if you're married, this relationship is very precious, very important, very precious. The Lord placed us with the best person that He could find, or we could find, on this earth. So important, this relationship. It's yes, of course, after the relationship with the Lord, which is spiritual primarily, it's a relationship with the spouse, which is soul, body, but the soul is there. And I will talk to you probably as I connect back with the local church and people in the church. I'm already there, but maybe not as much for now. So all these years, what was important between me and my wife was always staying in the light. We do not go to sleep with any type of disagreements or fights, or I will be the one, the peacemaker, the one making sure that, if I have to apologize, the first one to be apologizing, it's gonna be me. Because this relationship, this way of being in peace with my wife was so important for all these years. Now, here's a month being gone, even a week or a couple of weeks, coming back. I notice things are in her mind because she has a different pace of life and dealing with different things, and not understanding everything that happens with me in that time. Text messages, phone calls. I'm still in a different realm, in a different zone. And I realized that today was a day of this reconciliation, of clarifying. And normally what I do is I go through every day, I journal every day of my trip. And I do that, of course, for other reasons too, so I can go back and I take notes and things that the Lord is showing me, what to do next year and all these things. But another very important reason is so I can go with her through every single day. So these are days, important days, because sometimes here at home things are happening and then we kind of synchronize things. Ah, that's why you couldn't call. Oh, that's why. Oh, you were under attack there. Now I see what happened, why I felt this or that. So this reconciliation, it's very important. There are things that lots of times traveling, they are hanging on to our soul. I remember Michael was saying, do not let people put hooks in your soul. What is that? Well, very simple. Brother, you're going to come next year and you're going to stay with me, right? And you being nice and maybe enjoying that, you talk to that brother. You say, oh yeah, for sure, next year we are there. And here's the hook. Your words are going out. Please pray for me. You're going to pray for me all the time, right? Oh yeah, sister, I'll pray for you and your family. Hooks. Not that it's wrong to pray for someone, but words that get out before you even think about that are hooks. People pull on that, feeling sorry for them, really wanting to spend time with you, and they hook you into promising, saying those words. So all this are kind of accumulating in your soul while you're gone. You're coming home is so precious. So the wife, she sees that because you're in the light, you expose that. So why did you promise that? Why did you say that? So she can look at those, and the cleansing of the Lord is coming to the soul. So it's very important. Reconciling different things, pulling hooks out. It's the process that started. There are this type of things, and people you'd like to visit, people that you think they are so spiritual, and you will be forever connected. And as I talk to my wife, it comes in a light. I'm wondering, why did I say that? And sometimes, she pulls this Sarah type of thing. You know what I mean? Maybe not. So Sarah, Abraham's wife, she knows about the promise of God. She realizes she cannot normally have a baby. And she takes Abraham and takes him to Hagar, to the slave woman. And Hagar gets pregnant and gets a baby, and Sarah is pretty happy. Maybe she thought she helped God to fulfill his promise. So that was something that she thought she should do. Now, when God actually fulfills his promise, and Isaac shows up, something came in Sarah's heart, which was jealousy. She was jealous for her kid compared to Ishmael. And she tells the husband, kick this woman out of this house. And Abraham gets sad. So this is what I mean by pulling a Sarah thing, okay? hey, why do you have to go there? Why do you have to do that? No, no, that's not right. So sometimes I feel coming home, it's no, no, that's right. I had to do that. And sometimes are this type of ministries or relationships that you start because you feel sorry for someone, or you feel sorry for a ministry, a church, or a place, and you want to help them, and they burden you, and they take the time that you could use for something else. And Sarah knows and says, get Ishmael out. So I would say, yes, my wife is very strong and clear in getting all the Ishmaels out of my life, especially after a long and successful ministry as it happened. And Abraham gets sad, but God comes to him and talks to him. See, what Sarah said was unfair, socially unfair, humanly unjust. I mean, you start this lady is faithful, yes, a slave, but it's faithful. You made her do this, and now you kick her out? Sarah, this is inhuman almost. This is not right. But God comes to Abraham and says, do what Sarah wants you to do. You know, this is an important thing. Again, if you are married, and it says in Ephesians 5, submit to one another in the fear of the Lord. And that's, you know, man is the head, and yes, that's also saying there, but it starts talking about submit to one another in the fear of the Lord. And this is true for the wives, but it's also true for the husbands. Abraham did what Sarah said, and that's Old Testament. And God confirmed that, even if it looks so inhuman and so unjust. Says, no, this is important. That separation is important, because Isaac is going to bring the right fruit, which is Jesus. This is so important, if you can hear. This is so precious, and I know you can hear. Maybe I'm talking more to husbands. Maybe because they usually like to be right and know better, more spiritually mature. But maybe the wives need to hear that. Yeah. If one of the spouses, if you are really deeply in the ministry and you check with your spouse, and she or he says, hey, no, I don't want Ishmael in this house, I think the Lord will confirm that. That's right. That's right, no Ishmael. So this is an important part of my back home. It's the cleansing part. Okay. We do live in the light, and the Lord is right there, and we are with Him. He speaks to us, but sometimes He speaks to us through someone that's very, very close, that He placed in our lives to watch over. That's why He says, submit to one another in the fear of the Lord. That's the watch that He gives one over each other, souls. That's family. That's husband and wife. Very important part. I want you to learn that. And for me, this is a type of settling, cleansing, clearing. That's so important. Okay. Submit to one another. So I just want to give you this, and coming back home, maybe you'd say, well, I'm not coming home from a ministry. Maybe you come home from a meeting, from a church meeting, from a lunch meeting with someone, and there are things unclear in your soul, and the spouse comes to help you see it. Just submit to the light. But you're not gonna lose anything. You only have something to gain. So yeah, Val, you're so practical now. Of course, I'm coming home from being underground for 4 weeks, dealing with things underground, almost day and night. So lots of these practical things. Love you. We'll talk to you soon.